'Cause this is how we do it. It's Friday afternoon, trading stocks, selling options, and this is how we do it. Why do you even tune into this madness? It is January 3rd. It's Friday. That means it's just another expiration Friday. You've heard that song many times before. So let's take a look. We are consolidating with our positions. We're taking it on the chin. We're hanging in there. We're like a coiled spring. We just keep coiling. We're keep coiling, but we're going to be springing and we're going to be sprunging all over the place very soon. This is 20 and the 25. So we're very excited. Still just two positions. One is whew, when I'm way down in my whiskey and a trade is not going right. But if my conviction is still strong, then I'll stick around and fight. So TMF based on the TLT, just getting lambasted. Wait till you see this thing when it's up 50 grand, because that's what it's going to be up very soon. Hey, we're in the money. We're in the money on AGQ. We were, whoa. 3616 at 8:35 a.m. So 3616. Where's the math? Where is the calculator? There it is. Let's just do some math. See what we were up earlier today. 3616. Uh-huh. Minus our position of 35.55 minus 35.55 equals that times 14,000 shares. We were up 85.40 this morning, and then we just plummeted. Guess what? It's Friday. What does that mean? Well, manipulation. Manipulation. Woo! So I'm feeling a little spunky, feeling a little funky here on a Friday. I didn't tell you this, but I will. Just quick side note. Oh, man. So kid one got married on Saturday. I haven't talked much about it, probably just because of I don't want to catapult myself into a depression because kid one has been around. She's been around with me and my lady friend, my wife, for 25 years now. Graduated college just recently and got married on Saturday and is now laughter through tears, my favorite emotion. She's now in Kentucky living with her new husband, her only husband. He has a house on Kentucky Lake and they will be leaving tomorrow on a 5-week honeymoon journey. It was originally 4 weeks. Now it's 5. I know Lady Godiva and I, we had 10 days in Maui back in 1998. We've been married since the 1900s. So here's the interesting part. At that wedding, somebody came rolling in with influenza A. Yeah. So most people that were, almost everyone that was at this wedding / reception has had a horrific bout of influenza A. I only count 3 people. My sister-in-law, Pam, my son, Bart II, and me were the only ones that have escaped the wrath thus far. I think we should be safe because we're almost a week out now, right? It's already Friday. That was Saturday. I had to take my mother to the emergency room on Sunday. And then and I think I told you this, I moved her car for her to be able to just get right in. It's cold here in the farm fields of Valparaiso, Indiana. And I wanted her, so me and my brother went out to her car, moved it, backed it up so that she'd just be able to pull right out, got it as close to the door as possible. And she's a very spry 76 years old. But what I noticed is that when I went in reverse, it was slipping. So the transmission had a little issue, and I'm like, you got to get this. How long has this been going on? You got to get this checked out ASAP. So me and kid two, we went over and picked her car up on Monday, took it over to my mechanic. I brought some transmission fluid with me, checked the levels. It was indeed low, very low. Poured it on in there, took it in for repair, and then just picked it up today. And I went to my mother's house, and a poor lady, she's lost like 7 or 8 pounds already since Saturday, and looked very peaked. My wife is sick. Madison, the bride, is sick. Now her husband's sick. His parents are sick. His extended family's sick. I don't know why I'm laughing. Again, laughter through tears, my favorite emotion. Um, why did I bring that up? Oh, I just wanted to like get you up to speed on what's going on. And so far, me and kid two and my sister-in-law have remained unscathed, literally out of all these people. So I want to share with you that in 20 and the 25, one of the things, and this is like a weird segue into, I have not taken care of my health at all in 2023 or 2024, 2 years in a row. After going like I had an amazing streak from 2018 through the end of 2022, where I was in the most incredible shape of all time for me, with my spaghetti arms and, my noodle legs. But I want to get back to that because when seeing my mother, seeing my wife, um, talking to those that are sick, and in fact, my daughter and her husband were married, officiated by one of my good friends, Jeff, and he was so sick. He was in bed for like an entire day or two. His son is now sick. Oh, I should say his wife Casey, I think she's unscathed as well. That's number 4. So there's 4 of us so far. But what you realize when you are sick, like super sick, is that and this is, I don't want to associate my current situation with all these people that have been battling this influenza A, but I sneezed on Monday. I was like looking this way. I was in the kitchen and I was looking at my lady friend and talking to her, and then I had a violent sneeze, and it felt like somebody stabbed me in my lower back. So I've been battling that literally all week, like back spasms. It's getting a little better, but when you're like, I'm like hobbling around. That Stacy's got the flu and she's like on her deathbed, and she is someone that even on her deathbed is still doing way more than most people are doing. So I gotta like keep reassuring her every day that, look, these Christmas decorations will come down when we're ready for them to come down. It doesn't matter that it's the new year. It didn't matter that when I was growing up, the Poyers that lived across the street would have their Christmas tree up until like March. It didn't matter. So health is everything. It really is. It's number one. We talk about money. We make our trades. We enjoy making money. I love to make money. I love to think about money. I love to talk about money. I don't love money. Haha, gotcha, didn't I? Because you're thinking, well, the love of money. You know those quotes. But your health is number one. Health, happiness, money. Those 3 things. Because what does money do for me? It gives me freedom. Freedom that I have to take advantage of. And the only way to truly take advantage of being free is to be happy and healthy, healthy and happy. So 25, getting it back, getting it going. If you're still watching, I'm not sure why, but thank you so much for being a friend of mine, being a friend of the channel. Like, subscribe, comment, share this channel and this video with a lovable friend. Just make sure they fast forward to the 10-minute mark of this video when we actually get to talking about making trades and looking at stock charts. But Lady and I do have a trip to Puerto Vallarta. We're going to head down to Mexico in 2 weeks, just get a little warmth going. It's that time of year. She's a sun bunny. I am growing to despise the cold in my old age. So for years and years and years, we've always talked about the same plans, and that is to spend winters in warm places when the time comes. It's getting real close. It's getting real close to that time coming because every winter seems to be a little bit more on my nerves, making my butt stink, making my skin cold, all the stuff that we want to avoid in the winter. So enough of that. Health, happiness, money, freedom, money slash freedom. I always talk about, well, I don't always talk about it with you, but I used to talk about, I had a podcast for 4 years because, my profession was real estate. And I don't know, is it still up? I think it's still up. It's called Real Estate Good Life. 4 years. And what I would talk about all the time on there is freedom and how money solves all of your money problems. And when you don't have money problems, you have freedom, freedom that most don't understand. And part of that freedom is freedom. How do I want to put this? My mentor Dan Kennedy used to know before him. My mentor Napoleon Hill. Do you remember him? One of my favorite books of all time, Think and Grow Rich. Well, he had a better book, The Laws of Success. No, that wasn't what it was called. Anyways, I'm in a bit of a fog these days, last couple of days dealing with all this. But he had a law of success, and it was accurate thinking. This is interesting in these times, accurate thinking, because we are so manipulated by our political parties. We're so manipulated by the social media and our friends, our family members. We're all herd based. I always bring this up to Stacy when we're walking on at the YMCA. It's a 1/8 mile track indoors. And I always point out to her, look at what goes on. If there's a bunch of people on that track, there is literally, they will herd up. They don't even know it. As human beings, we will herd up. So there will be like 30 people in a, 100 feet area on the track. While most of the track is clear, we are herd animals. And unfortunately, part of that goes to our thinking. So when it comes to thinking, having accurate thinking is something that you should test at all times. You got to test your biases, your political beliefs, your money beliefs. Part of the reason most people don't ever make it in money is because they were never properly educated as to what the value, what the purpose of money is. We think of money, and I tell this to the kids all the time. If you were to just randomly pull somebody aside, and this applies today. Hey, how much money would it take in your bank account for you to feel free or for you to quit your job? And the answer is always the same: $1 million. But what I've always told the kids is this: when most people think of $1 million, they don't think about it as having $1 million. It is, what would I spend $1 million on? Would I buy a McMansion? Would I drive around in a Lamborghini? So money rule number one, money solves all your money problems, but just consider the reason that and I think that if you have accurate thinking, you will apply this to your life as well. Money doesn't buy health. It helps, and we need health. Money does not buy happiness. It helps. I've been broke and I've been rich, and I'll take rich all day, every day, and twice on Sunday. So make sure you do not have any false biases with regard to money. And they might be unconscious as well, subconscious, if you will. If you want to read a great book that will help you in life, it's called The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday. I've read that book 10 times. I've gifted it 100 times. Read it. Think about the obstacle as the way, because we want the easy route, but that's never the route to freedom. That's never the route to happiness. The obstacle is the way. So for 2025, when I was in incredible shape from 2018 through 2022, I felt amazing. I felt no pains, no aches. I'd roll out of bed. I felt like I was 25 years old all over again. Then I got back to living a little bit too much La Vida Loca. And it's easy to live that way when you have enough money to do so, when you have enough time to do whatever you want, when you have enough freedom, where nobody, literally nobody can tell me what to do except my wife. I always listen to her because she's my hun bun. She's my sweetie. You need to think about the direction that you want to take with regard to this freedom, with regard to where you want your money to work. And I will assure you that the less debt, the more happiness. The less money anxiety, the more happiness. The more money, the more freedom. However, on the top of all of that is health. Because when your back is out, when you sneeze and your back goes out, when you have the flu and you infect 100 other people, and you're in bed because you can't get out of bed because you're so sick, when you have when I took my mother to the emergency room, and I'm an empath. If you don't know what empath means, look it up because it's, I didn't realize it until about 5 years ago. And it was only when somebody that was on my, I had a little newsletter that went with my real estate podcast. And some guy out of the blue emails me and he says, "When did you realize that you were an empath?" And I'm like, what is that what do you even mean, man? Is that a is that a cut down? Is that derogatory? Then I looked into it. I'm like, OMG, this is me. I am an empath. And when you are an empath, you take on others' emotions. So when you're in the emergency room with your mother who's coughing and hacking and looks, I don't want to use the word weak, but that's the word, like vulnerable, weak, defenseless. And that's your mother and you're an empath. All you want to do is take on her grief, take on her sickness, make her better so that she can live happily ever after. But, that's what we deal with as human beings as we age. Nobody survives this. We all have the same end game. So what we do in the meantime is important. Being healthy is important. This is the longest diatribe. Is that a word? This is the biggest soapbox I've been on this YouTube channel. But I think I'm finally coming around. Had a couple of years off as far as eat whatever I want, drink whatever I want. I got to get back to it. I got to take back my health freedom because when you are not healthy, you don't have freedom. Health is at the top of the list. Happiness, number 2. Freedom/money, number 3. So we're here for number 3 at the moment, but all of it contributes to 1 and 2 as well. So if you're still here, congratulations. Give yourself a thumbs up on this video. Oh my goodness. I'm in one of those, I'm in a mood. It's a little bit sentimental. It's a little bit big picture, which is the only mood I typically can ever operate in is the big picture. Speaking of the big picture, let's talk about silver, baby. Let's talk about you and me. One of my buddies on the channel, Matt, he wanted to know, like, when I bring up the cartel that suppresses gold, suppresses silver, kind of they've lost a little bit of their grip on gold, although they did a number on it the last couple of days. They're still very effective with the gold and silver miners and still silver, but it's getting close. So here's what I want to say to the Matt. He's like, what do you learn about this stuff with regard to silver? So a simple, and I've been studying this now for a year straight. Okay. So you see my Google search there, silver price manipulation. You can find, just start reading through this stuff. I like this guy. Lately though, don't tune in. He's got some altcoin called Unicorn fart dust. that's, that's not a joke. I really like this guy. Think he's great. His YouTube channel is called Ron's Basement, but he did just come out with an alternative cryptocurrency coin called Unicorn Fart Dust. Go back to some of his older videos, and maybe once he stops talking about his um, crypto coin, he'll get back to the good stuff. Silver price manipulation. Why silver price is manipulated. This guy I like. That's Rick Rule, one of the greatest precious metal guys you'll ever run into. Reddit, trying to understand silver market manipulation. Silver price manipulation, fact or fantasy. Suppressing silver prices has been official U.S. policy since 1965. What's next for silver? Reasons why silver, real reason behind silver's price. There's another guy I really like. I thought I had him up here. Maybe it was over here. Let's go to the X. Just put in silver manipulation. Evidence of silver prices manipulation near quarter ends. That's a big deal. Options expiration, quarter ends, year ends, all that stuff. We talked about it a few days ago. This is the guy right here. I like this guy a lot. Andy Schectman. I mean, he's very into his position, meaning you would never be able to talk him out of it. But a lot of what he says makes complete sense to me. He's on many, many, many podcasts. Check him out. I've listened to thousands of hours of podcasts, YouTube videos, and reading materials with regard to silver and gold and the unbelievable manipulation. Like, this is bigger than AMC. This is bigger than GME. Is that it? GameStop. I think it's is it GME? I think it is. Shorting silver, very dangerous. Yes, it is, especially when I'm on the other end, breaking your back. But look into these things. I like this guy a lot. He's kind of a kook, but he's been like on it. Gary Savage, president of Smart Money Tracker Investing Newsletter and advocate for the return of common sense to a world that is badly in need of it. That's true. He's a little aggressive with his politics, but he's been really spot on with regard to silver and gold. I like to read his posts, but I like to do my own charting. What's this say? The biggest short squeeze in the world, silver, SLV. I invest heavily in SLV. This is from 2021. So this, silver, more fraudulent manipulation. It's all true. The boys, I've heard him called that. I've heard him called the cartel. I've heard him called everything. I call them the cartel because I've had a kind of an odd fascination with cartels. What was our main guy in Colombia? When you get to be my age, you just suddenly can't remember things that are so, you've known for years. I've read so many books on this guy. What was his name? So many movies and series created about him and his cartel. Cocaine. He had the little cocaine con. Pablo Escobar. So I've always had a fascination with cartels ever since I went to the movie to see. Man, you're way off today. This is the longest video in history. Johnny Depp was in the movie. He was started with marijuana, then went to cocaine, and he met with Pablo Escobar. What's the name of that movie? Leave it in the comments below because I got to move on. I got to get this thing going. I think maybe we're too good of friends, and that's why I'm talking to you so much. No moves today. No moves today. But we have full positions. We did start 4 for 4 on our swing trade, so I like that. Got $18,257 in our Holly Hobby Velcro wallet. Blow. That was the name of it. If you've never seen the movie Blow and you're interested in the cartels, You should watch it. What a great movie, Blow. Saw it at the movies with my wife and literally kid one, who is now 25. She was in a little car seat. We brought her into the movies in a car seat, and she was the sweetest baby maybe of all time. Never cried, never made a peep until kid two was born. Maya Coco, and you know how those middle childs are. But Maya Coco, I'm sad that Rapport is back at Purdue. She wanted to go back down early, get a routine going, back at the gym, back eating healthy. And then she begins her teacher training on Thursday, and then we'll student teach all of next semester. So that's Maya Coco. So that's what's going on. Where are we? Are we up on this? We're up $185. Great. You're doing swell. We did add some more cash. We're up to 918,000. So around $1 million in cash after we sold off or were stopped out of those positions yesterday. AGQ put that expires next Friday. It's up 22.20 or down 590. I don't need to go through each of these, right? GDX call. GDX, we'll get to the chart, but it's bottoming. It had a nice corrective, healthy retrace today. Corrective meaning being the operative word. As far as Elliott Wave is concerned, still just Chinatown in here. Two positions there, $33,670 down there in the green just by one night of dinner out. If it's just me and Lady, $185. But let's get to the charts because this is the most rambling video of all time. But I appreciate it if you're still here. And let's go. Okay, so I love to put stuff on and then go back to it later and think, is this working? Like, how is that possible that those things have hit perfectly and it's making its way up here? That's where I think we are. I think we've bottomed here. Local bottom. You've heard me use that term because there's always going to be bottoms. This is a local bottom, and I'm looking for 5 up. I'm looking for 5 up, and this is silver spot. Spot price, futures, two different things. I've learned that. Trading, you'll mostly hear about future. Here's a futures. You see how it's at 30.06. And I was going to tell that to you earlier if I came on before the market closed, but I did not. Like, if we can close at or above 30, we're in business. And you see right here, hold 29, take out 30. We've currently taken out 30 because we closed above it. And here we are. We're making our way back to you, babe, in a 3. This doesn't qualify as a 3 until it gets above the 1. That 1 is probably a little lower. Yeah. Yeah. We got room to run. Little pullback here because third wave is going to be 5 waves up. Bloop, 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 bloop. Is that 4? Or is it? No. Yeah, that's 3, 4. That's probably 4. So 5 of 3 should be coming early next week. Futures. Put the rails in. We just talked about it. Hold 29, take out 30. But we have to take out 30 and run. Take out 30 and run. The first part of it is take it out. We've done that. We closed above it and we ended the week. Expiration Friday above it. Still triangular in our gold. Made our way up and then down. What did we close at? 26.39. So we're down here at the bottom of this red candle. We're not going, listen, write this down. We are not, I repeat, we are not breaking below this lower trend line. We are breaking above this upper trend line. Write it down. Gold futures. This is perfectly healthy. 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. That's what I'm talking about. As Kip said on Napoleon Dynamite. If you don't like Napoleon Dynamite, you need to check yourself. We are breaking through this within the next 14 days. Write that down, man. You're getting aggressive. I don't know. Something's come over me. Money, freedom, health, my age, my mother's age. You don't ever want to see your mother look vulnerable. My mother was like one of my heroes, essentially a single mom. My dad was, I don't want to use the word deadbeat, but my dad's goals were aligned directly with his own goals, his own selfishness, his own demons. I should say that. That's mostly what it is. His demons prevented him from being a good father and a good husband. My mother, she never said a bad word about him until we dragged it out of her once. She started confiding into my wife some of the stories that went on. I had no idea. That's how great my mother is. So when you see her vulnerable, when you see her 76 years old, when you see her at the emergency room sitting on the exam table and she's just feeling horrible, oh my God, all I want to do is cry. But I got to keep it together. Gotta keep that together. Here we go. GDX still, this is the big picture of GDX, still on target. Look at that. We're 2 cents over where we closed at. Here's a closer look. I put the fibs in because I wanted to see. It looks classic to me. 5 waves. We want to see 5 clear waves up. And currently we have touched what would be the lower end or the first stage of wave 4 down. So could this qualify here and then go up? Yes. Do I think it's going to go a little bit further down? I do. I don't want to say that, but I do. I think it's going to be somewhere between, we got a little candle into just under the 2360. Typically in a Ford, you're going to be 3820 to 50, but that qualifies. 1, 2, 3. Those 3 waves would be the main waves. 4 would be like, getting a little deep here at 6180. So if we turn up right now, starting next week, and roll up to 36, I'm down with it. But I do think we have the local bottom here. USO, yep, got way too early. Not what did UCO close at? 28.79. I think I sold it like 28.33. So that I like to put profit in the pocket, but you can see we got it. You and I have been talking about it. We talked about, we really feel like when we hit this bottom trend line, we're like, I think the next move is through the upper trend line, and that's what it did big time. So we'll be regrouping on this. Same with WTI. We were like 72 min target, and we got over 74. Hello. Follow this channel on the RSI, Relative Strength Index, and we're like, we're looking for a breakout, not a breakdown, and bang, we got a huge breakout. Same thing with TLT. It hasn't come to fruition yet, obviously, but we're up 2 cents post-market. Laughter through tears is my favorite emotion. But this 5 is this has been invalidated. So I will regroup. In fact, let's just get this sum of the gun right off of here right now. But we still have this number in mind. We got to take out that 88.29. But this is obviously turned into an ending diagonal because there's nothing going on here that's predictable, and we're looking for predictable. We're looking for probabilities. However, I will end that statement with, we are bottoming. We are bottoming, period. Will there be one more lower low to take this C out? It's possible, because that was at like 86.98, 86.99. Could we see one more lower low before we go up? It is possible, but we are for sure bottoming. It's just been painful. Look at that. Painful. What is this? What am I doing here? Hold on. Oh, we got to bring that back down. Let's take this out. Bingo, bango. Let's put this in right there. All right. I think that's it. Let's put that right. No, that's not it. Sorry. Get rid of that. Give me a new, there it is, horizontal line. That's what I want. Put that in. Yeah. Okay. Let's move this up and let's move this down. Okay, that's what I'm tracking. How's that? I like the visual. I want to see where's this channel at and how do I get out of it? So we're on, like, if we put a, what do we got? Well, essentially 87 and 88. Yeah, we're in the bottom half. If we put another line in, let's in fact do that. Let's put another line in. Let's call it like 87. Or what's this? 87.65. Let's put a line in here. Let's make it yellow so it stands out. We're in the bottom half of this channel and we've been spending most of our time there. Not great. That's not what we want to see, but it's bottoming. Okay, so next move, take out the midpoint, yeah, and then take out the high point. And there it is. Take out 88.29. We'll confirm this local low. If we get another lower low, which is incredible, that's not the right word. It is certainly possible. Then we'll regroup from there. But I think we're going to hold and then bust through here and bust through here. And once we get going, oh, we're going to make all the money. Make all the money. Yep, and there we are. Hold 87, take out 89. We're in both of that right now. IWM, we're out of that trade. But we did get out early. We got out around here. We've now got a higher high from there. So we're still tracking a third wave. Yeah. Still tracking that third wave. We'll see how that plays out. Bitcoin. This is what I had as the primary count a couple days ago with the ABC. A equals C completing. I was looking for maybe C to be a little lower than A. And it really is, but not by much. And I'm like, oh, this is showing signs now, a bullish sign. Are we? And what we look for in Elliott Wave is if we think we have a local bottom, we need 5 clear waves up for wave 1. Pull back, wave 2. Did we get all of 2? Where's it at? There it is. It appears we definitely are in as far as the, let's see what the measurement is. Yeah, it hit at 38.20, like right on the dot. Let's get rid of that. So we got a full measurement for wave 2, and now we're looking for wave 3. However, what I've learned with the Elliott Wave is, and I haven't shown you any of this yet because I like to be naive and positive. Only look up, right? Yeah. But every chart should have an alternative. What is the alternative? So if this is probable, is it 60% probable? Is it 58%? And we have 42 on the other side. What's the alternative? Here's the alternative. And this is the first time I've ever shown you any alternatives, but I want to start showing you more because, again, I'm a novice in Elliott Wave. I'm a novice in Fibonacci, but I'm trying to learn. So this would be 5 waves down. And it's playing out for that as well. As you can see, it's turned off of that top one too. The confirmation would be simple. You break below this 1, which is 91,255. Then that brings us all the way down into 3, probably in the 87, 86 range. Bump to 4, finish 5, correction ABC. And then what? Then you look for 5 waves after an ABC to show us the impulse. Impulse means the direction that the next move will take. I don't think Bitcoin is done. I don't think you think Bitcoin is done. I think we got all-time high coming again. So we'll watch this, see how it plays out. I'm rooting for this, which takes us directly to all-time high, but this is possible too. It just means more time. S&P got back up to the 50-day moving average. 200 days coming down to meet it. If those cross, though, that's not good. This is still alive. This is still alive. Could that be all of one? Easily could be all of one. We took out all of this, so that could be one, and two would be accordingly. We'll keep an eye on that. I still think we got higher. I got added another chart because I've really been stalking uranium lately, and the reason is because we need the energy. We need the clean energy. We need who's going to power this AI. All these data centers are popping up. I just read an article about Microsoft spending, I don't know, $80 billion in 2025 on data centers. So uranium would be a tremendous opportunity for nuclear power because it's so clean, it's so efficient. So I've been watching URA, that's a uranium ETF. You know, I will trade leverage when it comes to it, but it is tracked really nice on 5 waves up. And what we want to see, like from any move to confirm we're in business, is 5 waves up and a corrective 3 waves, typically uh, down. Sometimes A equals C, but it's still down from the high of wave 5. And I think this is 5 of 1. ABC down the 2, big move to 3. So this is what I'm going to be watching. Will we be watching it together? We will over the next week to 2 weeks. Will this take a clearly corrective path? Because once we start showing a bottoming sign here, then we're taking off. Uranium makes sense to me. That is all. It's a Friday. I've spent way too much time in your ear. We're at 42 minutes, the longest video in history. Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, comment, share with a lovable friend. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you in the next video.